Hello and welcome to wristbandsigns.com, powered by Own the Zone Sports. In this quick demo, just going to take you through setting up your account for the first time. You'll be coming to this screen after you have received that email following your purchase, and the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and click the setup wizard. Your screen may look a little bit different, but the first thing you want to do is click the setup wizard. To begin the process, I've gone ahead and preloaded some of the information into your details, but just enter in your personal details that you want to be associated with the account going forward. You can always go back and change this information as needed. You're going to see a reoccurring theme, just the previous and next buttons to navigate through the setup process. If you've got signals or signs and settings that you'd like to import from using Own the Zone Sports, our previous desktop software, you can go ahead and import those here. But we recommend just kind of continuing on and setting up the wizard for first-time users. So go ahead and click Next. On this screen, you're going to be able to add any custom pitches that you'd like. We're going to go ahead and include defaults that most coaches use the most frequently, but if there's something you'd like to add, you can go ahead and click Add a Custom Sign, and then you can go ahead and name that whatever you'd like. So I'm going to go ahead and put custom, and then for the code on the player's card, I'm going to hit Z. You can color code those on the player cards, and then you can also color code those on the coach's sheet. Obviously, we recommend those being the same. Once you've got that set how you want, go ahead and click Save, and you can do that as many times as you'd like. And you can also go in and edit existing signs or delete existing signs here on the right. Once you've got all those, click Next. You'll be able to repeat that process for your defensive picks and plays, such as your 31 moves, bunt Ds, pick plays, pitch outs, etc. So add anything you'd like there or edit it. Same deal for offensive signs. You can edit anything you'd like, delete anything you'd like. These aren't the plays that you're actually picking to select at this point. This is just setting up what you're going to be able to pick from once you get into actually setting up your signs after this initial one-time setup. Here's where you're going to create zone groups. These are the zones that you're going to want to pitch to. As you can see, I've already created one zone group here, which is 2 zones, inside and outside. I'll go ahead and create another one now. So you'll just add any zones, any locations you'd like to pitch to. Just go ahead and click Add Zone. For this demo, I'm just going to have one zone right down the middle, and I'm going to call that Zone 1, and then maybe I'll add one more, which is an elevated zone. I'm going to call that Zone 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and click Save. Then you're going to name that zone however you'd like. I'm going to call that 2 zones, and I'm going to call that middle and up. So that way you can reference that when you're selecting what zones you want to pitch to when you get into actually creating your plays. So create as many zone groups as you'd like. Click Next. These general settings, we tend to recommend leaving them how they are. The one thing I will point out is if you're using the small wristbands, if you've ordered those, we recommend changing this to 150 grid settings, and that's going to shrink that player card down so they fit better into the smaller bands. If you're using the bigger bands, we recommend 216. If you want to add any custom information to the bottom of each of the player cards in the coaches sheets, you can put in the team name or whatever information you want here. Otherwise, it's just going to default. Just some simple coach card settings here, and then some player card settings down here at the bottom. Go ahead and feel free to set those however you like. Again, we just recommend leaving them at the default if it's all the same. Advanced settings is the next screen. We do recommend leaving these as they are. Getting into what the player cards are going to start at. 0 is what we recommend. That's going to give you additional signs, 0 through 5 instead of 1, but you can change that to whatever you want. And then how to display the signals. So once you've done that, go ahead and click Finish Setup. And now you're ready to actually begin creating your defensive sets and your offensive sets by clicking either one of these. You can also always go back in, click Setup, change any of this information that you'd like to, go through the Setup Wizard, update your info, update pitches, etc., etc. So that's a quick overview on that initial setup, and then I'll follow up with some demos on the offensive and defensive creating of the signs so you have your player cards and coaches cards.